जो फाइलर नहीं है, वो फाइलर अगर नहीं है तो वो ना कोई गाड़ी खरीद सकता है, ना जमीन खरीद सकता है, इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं कर सकता। 0.6% टैक्स होता था नॉन फाइलर्स के लिए, वो 0.4 कर दिया गया था, उसको हम वापस 0.6 पे लेकर जा रहे हैं।
Finance Minister Asad Umar presents a supplementary finance bill in the National Assembly proposing to levy rupees 192 billion additional taxes. Umar says these are difficult times. Difficult decisions need to be made. You do not have to be an economic expert to realize this. He says 20% duty has been proposed on cars with an engine capacity of 1800 cc and more. Finance Minister also adds that rupees 5 billion relief is being provided to export industries and minimum pensions being raised to 10,000 rupees a month.
हमारे मोअज़्ज़िज़ मेंबरान जो अपोजिशन पे तशरीफ फरमा है, उन्हें 2018 के इलेक्शन पर एतराज़ात थे। हम किसी चीज को पोशीदा नहीं रखना चाहते। हम बिल्कुल लोगों के सामने, कौम के सामने सब कुछ रखने के लिए तैयार हैं।
The government and the opposition agreed to formation of a special committee of the National Assembly to investigate allegations of rigging in the July 25th polls. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi moves the resolution in this regard. Zulfi Bukhari is being appointed as Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Overseas Pakistanis and Human Resource Development. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf's official Twitter account confirms party sources tell the Prime Minister has instructed Bukhari to prepare a detailed report on overseas Pakistanis. Former President Asif Ali Zardari files a review petition against the Supreme Court order in the National Reconciliation Ordinance case, asking for details of his assets. The review petition has been filed through the advocate Farooq Naik. The petition says the Supreme Court order violated Article 4, 175 and 187. Duchess of Sussex Meghan Markle throws her support and signature behind a new charity cookbook as her first solo royal project. The Kingston Palace confirms that the Duchess has been visiting the Hub Community Kitchen since January. The Mirpur Municipal Corporation is set to launch a one-window service for overseas Kashmiris. Administrator Tahir Mirza announces the facility upon his return from Britain. Talking to a delegation of overseas Kashmiris, Mirza promises to resolve their problems on priority basis. Majalis being held across the globe to mark Yom Ashur. Religious meetings have also been held in various cities of Britain, including Glasgow, Dublin and Luton. Homage paid to Hazrat Imam Hussain Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu, and religious leaders promote his message to stay determined for the sake of truth. President Vladimir Putin says the shooting down of a Russian military plane near Syria is the result of a chain of tragic and chance circumstances. The Russian Ministry of Defense says the aircraft was shot down by Syrian anti-aircraft systems, but accused Israel of indirectly causing the incident. Protests demanding the arrest of an Indian Catholic bishop accused of raping a nun enter its 11th day in India's southern Kerala state. The protest has gathered momentum with Christian bodies, activists, writers and locals joining in. Protesters are optimistic that the arrest would happen soon. German luxury car brand Audi stages the global launch of a new electric sport utility vehicle on the home turf of rival Tesla, highlighting a deal with Amazon to make recharging its forthcoming e-tron models easier. Hollywood's top TV talent step out in bright colors and sparkling white gowns, jumpsuits and tuxedo jackets that complement a gold carpet as they arrive for a too close to call amaze race.
Initiate sequence. Imprinted into that synthetic brain of functions. Go.
And a trailer has been released for Replica. The movie is about a scientist trying to revive some of his family members. The movie will hit cinemas on December 6th.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. You're watching 92 News HD. My name is Mohammad Yasir Rizwan.
And my name is Faik Mahmood. Starting off with the top story today, Finance Minister Asad Umar on Tuesday presented a supplementary finance bill in the National Assembly proposing to levy 192 billion rupees additional taxes. These are difficult times. Difficult decisions need to be made. You do not have to be an economic expert to realize this.
He said 20% duty was proposed on cars with an engine capacity of 1800 cc and more. He also said rupees 5 billion relief was being provided to export industries and minimum pension being raised to 10,000 per month.
जो फाइलर नहीं है, वो फाइलर अगर नहीं है तो वो ना कोई गाड़ी खरीद सकता है, ना जमीन खरीद सकता है, इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं कर सकता। 0.6% टैक्स होता था नॉन फाइलर्स के लिए, वो 0.4 कर दिया गया था, उसको हम वापस 0.6 पे लेकर जा रहे हैं।
Prime Minister Imran Khan was present in the NA session. The finance minister said under the new proposal, those having an annual income of up to rupees 400,000 will be exempt from direct tax. He said those earning up to rupees 2.4 million will pay up to 5% tax. The minister said an additional rupees 95 billion will be collected without raising the tax rate.
ये टोटल मैं आपको बता दूं 70,000 लोग हैं जिनके ऊपर इजाफा किया जा रहा है। ये 70,000 लोग हैं पूरे पाकिस्तान में मिला के, अमीर तरीन 70,000 लोग जिन पे हमने लगाया है, लेकिन इन पर भी कोई ऐसा टैक्स पेड नहीं है। इन 70,000 में से भी कोई ऐसा नहीं है जिसका टैक्स रेट उससे कम ना हो जितना पिछले साल था। हाईएस्ट टैक्स रेट जो है सैलरीड के लिए 25% होगा और नॉन सैलरीड के लिए 29% होगा।
Asad Umar said the government also wished to raise minimum pension of rupees 10,000 a month, raise regulatory duty on high-end mobile phones, cigarettes and 1800 cc cars. He said non-filers will be able to buy vehicles and property.
फाइलर अगर नहीं है तो वो ना कोई गाड़ी खरीद सकता है, ना जमीन खरीद सकता है, इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं कर सकता। तो बैरून मुल्क पाकिस्तानियों से इस वक्त और भी जज्बा भी उनका बढ़ा हुआ है, वो चाहते हैं मुल्क के अंदर सरमायाकारी करें। तो उनकी तरफ से बड़ी कंप्लेंट शिकायत आई और ये पहले आ गई थी, ये चंद माह पहले भी हमने ये सुना। उन्होंने कहा कि जी हम तो बाहर रहते हैं, हम टैक्स कैसे फाइल करें, हमारी तो आमदनी कोई नहीं है पाकिस्तान के अंदर। तो हमने उस मेजर को खत्म किए। ये दो चीजें हमने की हैं।
The minister said fiscal deficit could reach to 7.2% next year. Umar said if the supplementary finance bill was not approved, the fiscal deficit could reach 2,900 billion rupees.
6.6% जो कि 2,293 अरब रुपए बनते हैं। ये तमाम खसारा नहीं है, इसके अलावा बजट की बुक से बाहर जो खसारा हो रहा है सिर्फ पावर सेक्टर के अंदर, बिजली के सेक्टर के अंदर पिछले साल 450 अरब रुपए का खसारा हुआ, जो बजट में जो उनको सब्सिडी दी गई उससे ऊपर, यानी वो 2,293 अरब में नहीं शामिल हैं। 2018-19 साल जो अभी जारी साल है, इसमें खसारा 7.2% या 2,900 अरब तक पहुंच सकता है।
The minister said the proposed high petroleum development levy and the tax exemption on allowances admissible to Prime Minister, ministers and governors were being withdrawn. Umar also announced rupees 44 billion subsidy for industry, including a 5 billion rupees relief for export sector.
The government and the opposition agreed on Tuesday to the formation of special committee of the National Assembly to investigate allegations of rigging in the July 25th polls. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi moved the resolution in this regard.
हमारे मोअज़्ज़िज़ मेंबरान जो अपोजिशन पे तशरीफ फरमा है उन्हें 2018 के इलेक्शन पर एतराज़ात थे। हम किसी चीज को पोशीदा नहीं रखना चाहते। हम बिल्कुल लोगों के सामने, कौम के सामने सब कुछ रखने के लिए तैयार हैं।
National Assembly Speaker Asad Kaisar chaired a session which was attended by Prime Minister Imran Khan, federal cabinet members and leaders of opposition parties. Foreign Minister Qureshi presented a resolution for the formation of an investigation commission to probe rigging allegations. The resolution called for the formation of a parliamentary committee which comprised government and opposition members.
हमारे मोअज़्ज़िज़ मेंबरान जो अपोजिशन पे तशरीफ फरमा है उन्हें 2018 के इलेक्शन पर एतराज़ात थे। हुकूमत ने वज़ीर आज़म की मौजूदगी में इस पर गौर ख़ौस किया। किसी चीज को हम पोशीदा नहीं रखना चाहते। हम बिल्कुल लोगों के सामने, कौम के सामने सब कुछ रखने के लिए तैयार हैं।
Pakistan People's Party leader Shazia Murray took the floor and recommended that the government and opposition should have equal representation in the committee. The leader of the opposition in NS should chair the committee to ensure the probe is transparent, she added.
हाउस बिजनेस कमेटी में भी थी अपनी जमात की जानिब से, तो वहां पर दो अहम मुतालबात ऑपोजिशन, जॉइंट ऑपोजिशन की जानिब से आए थे, जिसमें से एक मुतालबा इस पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी, स्पेशल कमेटी जो कि अभी मिनिस्टर साहब ने जिसके लिए मोशन मूव किया है, उसमें इक्वल स्ट्रेंथ ऑपोजिशन और हुकूमत की जानिब से हमने मेंबर्स की मांगी थी।
Minister for Information and Broadcasting Fawad Chaudhary said Imran Khan demanded disclosure of 4 constituencies following 2013 general elections, which took 4 years. Speaker Asad Kaisar will constitute committee to probe into rigging allegations, said Fawad, adding that the committee will be autonomous.
हमारा काम है बहैसियत हुकूमत, हमने डिमांड मान ली। अब ये स्पीकर ऑफिस का काम है और आपका काम है कि कंपोजिशन कैसे होनी है, क्या करना है। वो अपोजिशन भी बैठ जाए, हुकूमत भी बैठ जाए और अपना फैसला जिस तरीके से करना चाहते हैं करेंगे, और जो भी कमेटी बनेगी वो इंशाल्लाह बाख्तियार होगी और जो अपोजिशन के जो इश्यूज हैं वो रिजॉल्व।
The committee will decide its term for reference and make recommendations for measures to be taken to ensure that the next elections were rigging free. Qureshi said the committee was being formed as demanded by the opposition.
Zulfi Bukhari is being appointed as a special assistant to the Prime Minister on overseas Pakistanis and human resource development. It was announced on Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf's official Twitter account.
Bukhari, a London-based businessman, is a close friend of Prime Minister Imran Khan. Party sources said the Prime Minister had instructed Bukhari to prepare a detailed report on overseas Pakistanis. Bukhari also monitored donations by overseas Pakistanis toward the Dam Fund. Earlier this year, the National Accountability Bureau began an investigation into offshore companies owned by Bukhari.
Former President Asif Ali Zardari on Tuesday filed a review petition against the Supreme Court order in the National Reconciliation Ordinance case asking for details of his assets. The review petition was filed through Advocate Farooq Naik. The petition says the Supreme Court order violated Articles 4, 175 and 187.
Former President Asif Ali Zardari has filed a review petition against the Supreme Court order summoning details of his asset. A court order on August 29 had summoned details of the former president's asset held during the past 10 years. The petition said he had already been acquitted and the National Accountability Bureau reference against him. The petition said asking for details of a citizen's asset was a violation of fundamental rights. The petition said there were no corruption cases against the former president. The court was requested to review and withdraw its order. On Wednesday, the Supreme Court sought record of all transactions over 10 years involving the asset and bank accounts of former presidents Pervez Musharraf and Asif Ali Zardari. The bench had directed the former president to submit detailed affidavits in this regard in 15 days.
The Lahore High Court directed the authorities on Tuesday to remove barriers placed on the road in front of the house of Hamza Shehbaz, the leader of the opposition in the Provincial Assembly.
Justice Ali Akbar Qureshi issued the order on a petition filed by Advocate Azhar Siddique on the behalf of Munir Ahmed. The plaintiff said the barriers had been placed around his house in Johar town in violations of the Article 4, 25, 17, 16, 14 and 6 of the Constitution. The court instructed the administration to remove the barriers.
An air hostess of national flag carrier has disappeared in Canada's Toronto city on Tuesday after going there on international flights. According to Pakistan International Airlines spokesman, an air hostess named Fariha Mukhtar boarded the PIA flight PK789 from Lahore, but as soon as it landed in Toronto, the woman went missing mysteriously. She had to return to Lahore on PIA's PK782 flight on the very day but didn't board the plane. A missing report has been lodged with the Canadian police and an investigation is underway regarding the air hostess disappearance, the spokesperson added. More news stories lined up right after a short break.
Stay with us. EU workers coming to the UK should be given no preference for visas after Brexit, says a new report. The Migration Advisory Committee also recommends that it should be easier for higher skilled workers to migrate to the country. It has called on the government to scrap a limit on highly skilled workers altogether, currently 20,700 each year from non-EU countries. The government has said it will carefully consider the proposals. Labour backed the report calling for an end to discrimination against non-EU migrants. The report does not rule out offering preferential access to EU citizens in return for benefits in other areas as part of the Brexit negotiations, such as trade.
Former Mayor of Brent, Councillor Ahmed Shahzad, urged British Prime Minister Theresa May to leave the office if she cannot make proper deal on Brexit with European leaders. He said Tory government is fully confused on this issue. For more on this, have a look at this report made by Ghulam Hussainavan.
Yes, we are here with Ahmed Shahzad, ex-mayor of Brent, and now he is serving as a councillor in Brent Council. And he is also a senior leader of a Labour Party. Let's find out with Ahmed Shahzad what's happening on Brexit issue, because there is a common reports here might the Theresa May will go for a no deal. If there is a no deal on Brexit issue, what will happen in Britain for the common people? Yes, Ahmed Shahzad, what do you think? What will going to happen?
Well, I think the Tory party at the moment is very confused. Brexit is a big issue, and it's affecting millions of people in Britain and in Europe. I don't think, in my humble opinion, I don't think they can go through Brexit. It is damaging the economy of this country. It is forcing shops to close. It is forcing people to leave this country, and we have lost already a lot of good staff from National Health. The doctors are leaving, the nurses are leaving, and also good workers who have degrees, plumbers, carpenters, who came from Poland and other European countries, they are leaving, and we are shortage of those good workers, and and I think it is damaging the economy of this country, and due to those people who who exit Britain, the shops are closing. The corner shops are closing. The high street is getting empty, and this is not on this.
But Mr. Shahzad, this is. Do you think that was a wrong decision or a referendum on a Brexit issue?
No, I think what they have done, they have lied to the public. They was telling us that 360 million euros we will get every week for the National Health Service, which is a total lie. It is not true. And similarly, they have told many other lies to public to get vote. And now, when we are, in the right thick of it, and our economy is suffering, our prices of goods in supermarket, it has risen, and the wages are still the same, and people are suffering. And therefore, in my humble opinion, as I said, I don't think they can afford to go through Brexit. It's a Tory mistake, and they don't know what to do. I think that Theresa May will be resigning very soon, and somebody else will take over as a Prime Minister, and he will try to, pull along for a few months.
And now about the visa fees increase. UK's Home Ministry on Tuesday announced a raise in fees for several types of visas, including those for entrepreneurs. The visa fee for permanent residents in UK is £2,389. An increase of £92 is there. The new fees will be applicable from October the 8th.
The Home Ministry has once again raised the visa fees. According to British media, visa fee for permanent residents in the country has been raised by £92. The Home Office has also raised the nationality fee from £12.28 to £13.30. Fees for visit, investor and entrepreneur visas have also been raised.
British Foreign Minister Jeremy Hunt was in Tokyo on Tuesday for a meeting with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and his counterpart Taro Kono. Hunt began the day with a call on the Prime Minister at the Prime Minister's office. The two are expected to discuss UK-Japanese relations, and North Korea. Japan, the world's third largest economy, has expressed unusually strong public concerns about the impact of Brexit on the United Kingdom, the second most important destination for Japanese investment after the United States. Duchess of Sussex Meghan Markle has thrown her support and signature behind a new charity cookbook as her first solo royal project. The Kensington Palace confirmed on Monday that the Duchess, a well-known foodie, has been visiting the Hub Community Kitchen since January, months before her May wedding to Prince Harry, and was inspired by how the project empowers women at the grassroots level. According to a press release, the cookbook will showcase over 50 delicious recipes from the women of the Hub Community Kitchen and include a foreword by HRH, the Duchess of Sussex.
The Mirpur Municipal Corporation is set to launch a one-window service for overseas Kashmiris. Administrator Tahir Mirza announced the facility on Tuesday upon his return from Britain. Talking to a delegation of overseas Kashmiris, he promised to resolve their problems on priority basis. He said he had been told during his visit to the UK that overseas workers and Britons of Kashmiri origin visiting Azad Jammu and Kashmir had to wait for months to have their issues resolved.
Talking about Muharram ul-Haram, a morning session was held at Luton's Ali Mosque on Tuesday to pay homage to Hazrat Imam Hussain, peace be upon him, and other martyrs of Karbala. A large number of faithful attended the event. Have a look at this report made by Safdar Bukhari.
A number of people attended the majlis held in Luton in connection with the holy month of Muharram. Several scholars spoke about the trials and tribulations of the martyrs of Karbala and the sacrifices rendered by them. The speakers said the Imam and his companions had willingly laid down their lives for Islam. They said the sacrifices held a special place in human history. The battle of Karbala and the martyrs' sacrifices remain etched in the collective memory of Muslims.
More news stories lined up right after a short break.
Stay with us.
As whole world is paying tribute to Shohada Karbala in Ireland, Muslim community are equally showing their love and respect to Hazrat Imam Hussain Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu and family. Speaking to 92 News, Allama Musharraf Hussaini said that Karbala's message for all mankind to stand for the right. Faisal Mirza reports from Dublin.
Yes, right now we're here with Maulana Musharraf Hussaini here in Dublin City Centre, and he will give us a little bit of his views on Karbala and Imam Hussain alayhi salam.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Actually, if we go back into history, at the time of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam, we see the Khawarij who stood against Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam, against the power of truthfulness and rightfulness. And then we see that at the time of Yazid, those forces took a shape of a form of government, and they got a slap from Karbala from Imam Hussain. So they were quiet for nearly 1400 years. But today we see that those forces have come out again in the name of genetically modified Muslims of ISIS and ISIL. And that is the time when the powers of truthfulness and rightfulness need to get united as they are getting united. The world is splitting into two parts, the rightfulness and truthfulness, irrespective of their color, creed, ethnic and geographical and religious background. The truthfulness and rightfulness, my, your and everyone's duty is to strengthen that power of truthfulness and rightfulness, because this is the last time of the coming back of Imam Mahdi, coming back of Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, Jesus Christ, and that is the time when we should be standing with the powers of truthfulness and rightfulness. This is the message of Imam Hussain. This is the global message. Imam Hussein's message is not just for Shias, not just for Muslims, not just for, it's for all of the humanity. Let's listen to the message of Imam Hussain and say, everyone, Labbaik ya Hussain.
Thank you so much.
President Vladimir Putin said on Tuesday that the shooting down of a Russian military plane near Syria was the result of a chain of tragic and chance circumstances.
The Russian Ministry of Defense said earlier on Tuesday that the aircraft was shot down by Syrian anti-craft systems, but accused Israel of indirectly causing the incident, saying Israelis' jets operating nearby had put the Russian plane in the path of danger. Putin's comments appeared to somewhat soften Russia's criticism of Israel, though he said Russia still needed to look into what happened. Speaking beside Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban following talks in Moscow, Putin said Russia's response to the incident would aim at securing the safety of Russian service people in Syria.
A Palestinian man died on Tuesday while being arrested by Israeli soldiers in the occupied West Bank. It was not immediately clear what caused his death.
His family said they believed that Muhammad Al-Khatib, 24, from the village of Beit Rima, was beaten by the soldiers. They said they saw soldiers carrying an unconscious Al-Khatib out of the house and later were informed of his death. They added that they were unable to see whether he had any injuries before being taken away. The Israeli military said initial inquiry showed the troops used no violence and that it had launched an investigation into the incident, adding that Al-Khatib was being sought for suspected security offences. During the arrest, he lost consciousness and was treated at the scene by the forces there. He was evacuated to an Israeli hospital for further treatment, accompanied by a military medical team attempting to resuscitate him. His death was declared at the hospital, the spokeswoman told Reuters by phone. Initial investigation has shown he was arrested with no resistance or violence. A spokeswoman for the hospital told Reuters by phone that doctors continued efforts to revive Al-Khatib but were unsuccessful, and the man was declared dead. There were no bruises visible on his body, said Vered Cavital, spokeswoman for Belenson Hospital. The family said they want an autopsy to be performed at a Palestinian facility, not an Israeli one.
Some 1,500 roads were closed across North Carolina after Hurricane Florence dumped record rain on the Carolinas and killed at least 31 people.
Video provided by North Carolina's Division of Aviation showed a section of Interstate 40 in Dublin City flooded, with water completely covering lanes of roads. Local media reported that a large section of the highway were closed in the wake of Hurricane Florence, which dumped up to 36 inches of rain in North Carolina since Thursday. North Carolina's Transportation Department tweeted that footage, adding that it illustrates our message that travel in the area is impossible and unsafe.
Protests demanding the arrest of an Indian Catholic bishop accused of raping a nun entered its 11th day on Monday in India's southern Kerala state.
Kerala police have called Franco Mulekal for a new round of questioning on Wednesday. The bishop has denied wrongdoing. A group of Catholic nuns launched a rare street protest more than a week ago in Kochi, the state's financial hub, demanding justice for the nun. The protest has gathered momentum with Christian bodies, activists, writers and locals joining in. Protesters were optimistic that the arrest would happen soon.
Because of this public agitation and wide criticism from the society, sometimes the government or police will open their eyes. We are expecting.
The nun had accused the bishop of raping her repeatedly over 2 years from May 2014. She had sent a detailed letter to Pope Francis last week demanding action against the bishop. The case comes at a time when the Christian community, which accounts for 19% of the state's population, is reeling under an erosion of trust as sexual abuse cases involving the clergy pile up.
German luxury car brand Audi on Tuesday staged the global launch of a new electric sport utility vehicle on the home turf of the rival Tesla, highlighting a deal with Amazon to make recharging its forthcoming e-tron models easier.
The Audi e-tron mid-size SUV will be offered in the United States next year at a starting price of $75,795 before a $7,500 tax credit. It is one of a volley of electric vehicles coming from Volkswagen brands as well as other European premium brands including Daimler-owned Mercedes-Benz, Volvo Cars and Jaguar Land Rover.
I think we have the ability to take electric mainstream. I think we can push it beyond California. I think we can push it across the 50 states. We have a dealer network that's ready to go. We have a brand that's strong. We have a quality product.
All aim to expand the market for premium electric vehicles and also to grab share of that market from Palo Alto, California-based Tesla, which has had the Nike largely to itself. Audi and parent Volkswagen are using the US launch of the e-tron SUV in mid-2019 to take aim at one obstacle to expanding electric vehicle sales: the lack of convenient ways to recharge their batteries.
We do compete with Tesla, 100%. Does our campaign need to do that? No. I think we can stand on our own laurels. Our brand is strong, our network is strong, our product is phenomenal, but 100%, they're a competitor. We view them as a competitor, and we look forward to competing. That's what we do.
Audi will partner with online retailer Amazon to sell and install home electric vehicle charging systems to buyers of the e-tron. The company's set on Monday. Amazon will deliver the hardware and hire electricians to install them through its Amazon Home Services operation.
A trailer has been released for Replica. The movie is about a scientist trying to revive some of his family members. The movie will hit the cinemas on December 6th.
Proceed. Initiate sequence. Mind. Imprinted into that synthetic brain. All functions go. Who am I? Try to relax. You're coming online. Who am I? Who am I?
What if something horrible goes wrong?
Something already has.
Hollywood's top talent stepped out in bright colors and sparkling white gowns, jumpsuits and tuxedo jackets that complemented a gold carpet as they arrived for a too close to call Emmys race on Monday.
Bucking the heat, the stars walked a carpet that was colored gold instead of the traditional red to celebrate the Emmys' 70th anniversary. Some of the biggest stars stood out in bright colors, with Westworld Tandy Newton choosing pink, while Oscar winner Patricia Arquette stood out in a metallic effect gown. The Emmys are the television industry's highest honors. They were being handed out on Monday in a downtown Los Angeles theater on a hot late summer day.
On its 6th edition, the Vives Visual Arts Biennale took to the streets of the Swiss city with the giant pictures and installations being displayed on buildings, facades, parks and up to the shores of the Lemon Lake.
According to the organizers, the 61 artwork set up for 3 weeks in every corner of the city draw in about 50,000 people every 2 years. In 2008, when the first edition of the festival was created, only a few artwork were displayed in the streets, said the director of Images Vivi Festival, Stefano Stoll. 10 years later, 58 artists from 19 countries are on display until September 30. Visitors particularly appreciate the playful approach of the exhibition, leading them on a stroll through the city. Their noses up in the air, looking for artwork for established artists whose artworks have already been exhibited in the art hubs such as Berlin and New York. A map of the city with a location of every artwork is available on the festival webpage. Just by looking at the map, we are already in the game because we are going to search. Waiting for a discovery, said one of the visitors, Lara Sylvie Narbil. The festival, which is free and open to everyone, thanks a subsidized from the city, the region and donation from private organizations, can also give the people who are not necessarily art fans a taste for museum, according to Stoll.
That's all from the news studio. For more details, you can visit our website 92NewsHDUK.
Keep watching 92 News UK.